So in this video I want to go through some examples of simplifying expressions that involve roots or surds. Okay, so for this first example we have 7 root 3 take away 4 root 3. So it's really understanding that what you've got is you've got 7 root 3's and then you're taking 4 root 3's away. How many root 3's are you going to be left with? So 3. So this will be 3 root 3. So think of it like 7x take away 4x is 3x. Now for the second one here we've got root 2 cubed. Now we know what root 2 squared simplifies to because that's 2. But what does root 2 cubed simplify to? So let's first of all write that as root 2 times by root 2 times by root 2. Now the thing is that if I cover up one of those root 2's, root 2 times root 2 we know is 2 because that's root 2 squared. So we've got 2 times root 2, which we can write as 2 root 2. So root 2 cubed is the same as 2 root 2. Okay, number 3, root 6 times 4 take away root 6. So this is really expanding a single bracket. And we'll see more examples of this when we get to the algebra chapter. Okay, so essentially what you want to do is you want to make sure that the root 6, which is on the outside of the bracket, is multiplying by everything that is inside the bracket. So the root 6 is going to multiply with the 4, the root 6 is going to multiply with the minus root 6. Okay, now you can utilize a grid for this if you prefer. So if you want to do it using a grid, you could have the root 6 as a row and the 4 and the minus root 6 as columns, and think of it like a multiplication grid. Okay, so we have the 4 multiplying with the root 6, which is 4 root 6. Okay, so that's the root 6 times the 4. And then we've got the root 6 times the minus root 6. Well, we know that root 6 times root 6 is 6, so this would be minus 6. So root 6 times minus root 6 is minus 6. Okay. Now we can use a similar method to multiply these double brackets. Okay, so essentially what we need is that every term that is in the first bracket needs to multiply with every term that's in the second bracket. So the root 2 needs to multiply with the root 2. The root 2 needs to multiply with the 2. The 1 needs to multiply with the root 2. The 1 needs to multiply with the 2. Okay? Now you can see that a little bit more easily inside a grid. So you have root 2 and the plus 1 multiplying with the root 2 and the plus 2. And you do it like a multiplication grid. So this is the first bracket, root 2 plus 1. Here's the second bracket, root 2 plus 2. So we have root 2 times root 2, which is 2. So root 2 times root 2 is 2. We have the root 2 multiplying with the 2. So that's 2 root 2. So we've got the root 2 times the 2, which is 2 root 2. We've got the 1 times the root 2, which is 1 lot of root 2. So 1 times the root 2. And then we've got the 1 times the 2, which is 2. 1 times the 2. Now we want to simplify that because we've got a 2 and a 2, which make 4. And then you've got 2 root 2's and you're adding on another root 2. So how many root 2's have you got in total? 3 root 2's. So expanding these brackets give you 4 plus 3 root 2.